When I first got jacked, I thought everything in my life was going to change. And it did, but just not in the way that I expected. Some of it surprised me, or other of it just honestly disappointed me. And after years of training, I had to ask myself for one question. Was it even worth getting jacked? So in this video, I'm going to break down the things that nobody tells you about being jacked. And let me just explain to you what it was like before I ever got jacked. As I remember being about 14, 15 years old, I was pretty skinny at the time. And it was just a normal average day. I went to school, I was doing all that different stuff. I remember coming home, like having food and just laying in my bed for a while. I did the same thing most teenagers do, and you just sit there and just watch YouTube for hours on end. And that's what I was doing that day. And it was starting to get late in the night, maybe like 12, 1 o'clock. And I was still sitting there just watching YouTube, just like sort of zoned out, and I had my headphones in. And at one point, my headphones just died randomly. So I couldn't watch anything anymore. Instead, I had to sit in silence. I wasn't tired, I didn't want to sleep, I was wide awake, and I was just sitting there in silence waiting for my headphones to charge. And I remember in that silence, when I was sitting in my room, just in my bed, in the dark, I had this weird thought that, like, it came into my head just sort of out of nowhere. And I just remember it so clearly. Like, I just thought to myself, I don't really like being me. Like, I kind of wish I could be someone else. I didn't hate myself. I wasn't like really down and out, like really depressed, like I really hate being me. It was more just, I kind of wish I could swap. I would swap with quite a few people if I could. I tried to be a cool kid in school or someone else. Just, I wasn't a massive fan of me. And I think so many people experience this. It's like the lack of self-confidence. You don't feel happy with who you are. And that's what I was feeling completely. As I wasn't like, I had things going for me. I was decently smart. I had friends, everything was going all right, but I just didn't particularly, I didn't look in the mirror and liked who I was. And that's how it was, just for a long time, how I could remember it. But when I turned 16 years old, I remember my friends, about 3 of them, all started going gym. They were going, and they were actually getting like bigger. They were gaining muscle. You could tell, most definitely, they were bigger than everyone else. And I saw that, and it motivated me a little bit. It motivated me to go to the gym like once or twice, but I didn't stay consistent with it. Then this one day, not even one of my friends, about 6 of my friends all organised this like bench press competition where we'd see who was the strongest. I remember me and one of my other friends, we were just chatting to each other. I was saying I'm stronger than him, he was saying he was stronger than me, and we were just talking and talking. And we go there, we start doing a bench press, and we start with a bar and gradually work our way up. And I remember maybe coming like 4th, 5th place out of everyone there, and seeing the people who went to the gym consistently. They just kept going up and up in weight. Like the weight I could do for 1 rep, they were repping out. They were so much stronger than me. And it made sense. They were way more muscular than me. They looked like they went to the gym. And this was like my burst of motivation. This was, oh, that's actually kind of cool. If you go to the gym, if you work out, you can sort of build yourself. You can make your own character in a way. As I always compare it to a video game, something like FIFA, where on like pro clubs, you have this character, and you can adjust all the stats. You can make him faster, make him stronger, have better right foot shooting, all these different stuff. And like with all video games, you can do that. And I saw I should do that with my life in a way. I could try improve, like, yeah, make myself jacked, like improve this trait of life. And improving this, it felt like so many more things unlocked. It felt like if I got jacked, okay, I could speak to more girls, I'd be more confident, I'd like who I was more. All these things I associated with getting jacked. And I had so many beliefs. My biggest one that I always had, which I think every young guy has, is if I have more muscle, if I can bench press more, then I can get more goals. Like most guys, all my friends that I know have definitely thought the same thought as me. And when I first started the gym, my first 6 months in, I actually started to see results with it. I remember this one day, I was on this like trip away with quite a few different people. And there was this one girl I was talking to at the time. And I just remember sitting next to her on the bus and her saying, "Oh, you clearly go gym." That's what she said to me. And that sort of lights such a spark in me. That I was like, damn, actually going gym actually helps you out so much. I was so gassed when I got that compliment. As no one really recognised that I went to the gym before until that day. And yeah, I felt so much happier. It felt so much cooler to do that. So then I was like, okay, so the more muscle I build, I can probably just get more goals. If I get loads and loads of muscle, I can get way more goals. But this was a first belief, which was kind of true, kind of not. Like, it's a weird one. As there's like a point, like there's so much muscle you can get, And then once you get past this point, it doesn't help you anymore. It just stays the same. So like, if you're really skinny and if you get in great shape, you look, I don't know, you look like a movie star, you have an amazing physique. You've hit that point. Then say you keep building muscle. Now you start to look like a bodybuilder. You start to look bigger and bigger. You're 100 kg pure muscle. You've gone past that point, and now like girls aren't like, you don't have an attractive physique anymore. You just have a muscular physique. You're really built. You're like a proper bodybuilder. And I started to realize there was a point for that as well. As at first, I thought I just need to build as much muscle as possible. But I realized there's a point. You don't want just muscle. You want to be lean. You want to be shredded. You want just more than just muscle. That's not the goal of everything. That's not going to work for you. But once you get all this muscle, and you actually, say you get to that point where you've just built a really good physique, where you don't need any more muscle and it won't help you at all. Another thing you will experience, which is, it's really weird, is you'll get treated differently by generally everyone. People on the street, your family, your friends, whoever it is, will treat you differently. As I remember listening to this thing the other day, where it said a baby, just like when a baby's crying, if they see an attractive person, they're more likely to stop crying than when they see an ugly person. And it kind of makes sense. You kind of see it all the time. Like ugly people aren't really good with babies. You always see the attractive person really good with babies. As we grow up, we keep this like baby instinct that we have, this human nature. As you see it with attractive people all the time. People are friendlier, they're nicer to them. Even there's this like study where if a fat man sweats, it's seen as disgusting. But versus when an attractive jacked man sweats, like someone in great shape, it's actually seen as like hot. It's seen as attractive. And it's all like this attraction thing, is people aren't treated the same what they look like. Instead, when you're attractive, when you have a physique, when you just look good in general, you're treated better. And I experienced this myself. I remember when I was like skinny, I felt like people didn't notice me in a way. Like I'd walk on the street and no one really batted an eye at me. I just sort of walked on the street and I felt like I was in my own bubble. But when I got in better shape, for some reason, I don't know why this is, but people started to speak to me more. Maybe I was more friendly, maybe I was more smiley, but I just felt like I attracted people. When I went to places, usually I'd have to be that guy that introduces myself first, say, oh, hi, I'm Keto. But people now start to introduce themselves to me. People come towards you when you're in better shape, because it gives off so many signals. It shows you're healthier, you take care of yourself, you've got discipline, like it shows so many beliefs. And you experience it with life. So many people treat you differently. Even the people you know now, they start to respect you more, like you more. You're seen more as a leader. And it's all through just building muscle and building a great physique, getting jacked essentially. And there's a free lean bulking course in the description of this video, which is going to help you get jacked. I'm trying to help the first 100 guys that join get jacked as fast as possible. But the thing is, to get jacked, I probably spent over 1,000 hours in the gym, easily over 1,000. And as well as over 1,000 hours in the gym, I spent so many hours like cutting meals, eating certain meals, not eating this meal, not having McDonald's, instead having the chicken and rice. There was so much sacrifice to getting jacked. So then it actually backs the question, is it actually worth getting jacked building muscle? And you'd probably think, I'd say it's a definite yes, everyone should get jacked. But I don't think that's the case at all. Instead, if you think about someone who enjoys kind of being skinny, they don't really want to build muscle. They don't really care that much. They don't need to get jacked. They shouldn't get jacked if they don't want to. Instead, that person that enjoys the gym, wants to eat healthy food, wants to actually get jacked and enjoys the process of it, they're the people that should get jacked. As if you don't like the gym, if you don't like working out, if you don't like any of the process, then it's probably not worth it, because you do get loads of benefits from it, but what's the point if it's such a struggle? Versus if you enjoy the process, like you like going to gym every day, you probably don't like dieting, but you like the thought of seeing the progress, seeing the results. You like seeing yourself building more muscle, seeing progress in the gym. If you like that sort of stuff, then it is most definitely worth getting jacked. But if you don't like the gym, it's not worth it at all. I can tell you that now. There's no point of all that discipline and sacrifice just to get in good shape, as it benefits your life loads, but only if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy the process, it won't benefit your life even half as much. And the reason I say this is because every time I can think, all those times I went to the gym, probably in the thousands of times by now, or at least the high hundreds, I enjoyed 90% of them. I wanted to go to the gym. Don't get me wrong, I had discipline, I had to grit my teeth, I had to force myself to go to the gym. But once I was in the gym, once I was halfway through a workout, I was actually having a good time. I was smiling, I was lifting weights, I was seeing progress, and I enjoyed that whole process. But if I didn't like it at all, say I forced myself to go to the gym, and I went to the gym, the whole session was dead. I hated it the whole time. I wanted to go home. And that was my whole routine. That's what I was doing every day. I would 100% not recommend going to the gym, getting jacked or any of it. Instead, I don't know, you should find something else to do. But if you're watching this far into the video, I'm assuming you do enjoy all these things. So I would 100% recommend getting jacked. Thanks so much for watching. Click the link in the description for a free lean bolting course, and I'll see you in the next one.